we saw the Atma part, the three questions, the three supposed questions that Krishna is asking Arjuna. Arjuna, are you upset because the Atma of Bhishma and Drona are going to be destroyed? In that case, I am giving you all these answers. We saw so many slokas last session, all that pertain to the Atma. So the Atma is Avinashi, it is Nityaha, all those things we saw. So therefore, you need not worry about the Atma. It will never be born, it will never die. So don't be worried about that part of Bhishma and Drona. So now what we are going to see, Krishna's question about Arjuna, are you upset because the Anatma of Bhishma and Drona are going to be destroyed? So he is going to give the answers in this following shlokas. And after that, he is going to go to the Dharma part where he will say that due to Dharma also, you should not hesitate from doing your duty and you should go forward and fight. So that is also what we are going to see. So in terms of Anatma, which is basically the body, Krishna gives the following slokas. So the first shloka in the first Anatma shloka in chapter 2 is shloka number 40. So it talks about patience, forbearance, and tolerance. So this is the shloka. Matra sparshastu kaunteya shitoshna sukha dukkhadaha आगमापायिनो नित्याः तां स्थितिक्षस्व भारत मात्रा स्पर्शास्तु कौन्तेय O Arjuna, matra sparshastu meaning the sensory experience of what? Shitoshna, shita which is the cold, ushna which is the heat, and sukha dukkha which is the happiness. Sukha is the happiness, dukkha is the sorrow. What happens to those dualities? Agama apayino nityaha. Agama means it appears. Apayinaha means it disappears. Agama apayino nityaha is what we will say together. But actually the word is anityaha. It is impermanent. So when you split, it will be agama apayino anityaha. So anityaha, it is impermanent. So these three qualities are describing the anatma, which is basically duality, heat, cold, happiness, sorrow. That is one thing. Second is it appears and it disappears. Our bodies appear and they disappear. So it appears and disappears, and it is anitya. It is not eternal. So therefore, what should you do? There is no other solution. Tam titikshasva bharata. So titiksha is what he is talking about. Bharata. So you have to learn to tolerate it. So the things he is telling here is patience, forbearance, tolerance, appearing and disappearing nature, the dvandam, the dualities, and titiksha is the solution for this anatma problem. So that was 14. And shloka number 15. Yam hi navyathayantyete purusham purusharshabha samadukha sukham dhiram somritatvaya kalpate. So what happens? Yam hina vyatayantyete. Vyatayanti means to be disturbed. One who is not disturbed by this, yam hina vyatayantyete, purusham purusharshabha. Purusham is this person. Purusharshabha is referring to Arjuna. Oh Arjuna, this person, what happens? Samadukha sukham dhiram. Dhiram means he is the viveki. He is able to discriminate the samadukha sukham. Dhiram somritatvaya kalpate. He is not disturbed with this, keeps it in equanimity. Samam. Sukha dukkham. So therefore he is a viveki. Somritatvaya kalpate. Saha amritatvaya kalpate. He becomes fit for liberation. So this is what is the second message of Krishna to Arjuna, saying you must first tolerate, and the person who is not disturbed with these dualities, he becomes fit for liberation. Like we saw Karma Yoga also, Samatvam was the basis, right? So Samatvam, and then you go to Jnana and liberation. So Samatvam is the first and the most important step. Shloka number 26 is also Anatma Shloka. So what does it say? अथ चैनं नित्यजातं नित्यं वा मन्यसे मृतं तथापि त्वं महाबाहो नैवं शोचितुमर्हसि. So he says, Atha chainam, Atha cha yenam, Nitya jatam. That assume that even Arjuna being told by Krishna, assume that it is always being born. Nitya jatam, Nityam va manyase mritam. Think that it always dies. That is, what is he talking about here? About the Atma. No? He is telling, even if you assume that the Atma is going, Atma najayate mriyate va kadachite, he said. It is never born, it doesn't die. But here he says, Ata chainam, even if you assume nitya jatam, nityam va manyase mritam, it is always getting born and it is always getting dead. Suppose you assume, Tata pitvam mahabaho, even then, even still, mahabaho, he is referring to Arjuna, the one with the mighty arms, Naivam shochitu marhasi. You are not supposed to, don't deserve. Marhasi, arhasi is to deserve. You don't deserve to lament. Even if you are thinking it is not true, but even in the case you are assuming that the Atma is going to be born and it is going to be dead, even then you should not lament. So this is the shloka's thing is, it is always born and always dying. Do not lament, even if you assume like that. Then 27, shloka number 27 is also pertaining to the anatma. So what is he saying here? Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityuho dhruvam janma mritasya cha tasmada pariharyerthe natvam shochitum arhasi. So natvam shochitum arhasi. Again he says you do not deserve to lament. So for what? Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityuho. Mrityu. So Mrityu is certain, the death is certain for Jatasya, the one which is born. Jatasya Dhruvo meaning certain. Mrityuhu. So for one that is born, the death is certain. Dhruvam Janma Mritasya Chao. Again, Dhruvam certainly. Janma, the birth will happen when there is a death. So this cycle will happen. Tasmada Pariharyerte. This important word is Apariharyerte. That is unavoidable. That must be underlined. Tasmat. Therefore, apariharye arte. In this matter, apariharye. That means it is unavoidable. Natvam shochitum arhasi. You should not lament for this. So once something is born, it will die. Once something is dead, it will be born again. This is anatma. So this is really unavoidable. So for that you should not lament. 27. 28 again pertaining to the anatma. Avyaktadini bhutani vyaktamadhyani bharata avyaktanidhananyeva tatra ka paridevana. So what is he telling here? He is talking about the cycle of unmanifest, manifest and unmanifest. So this is the cycle. So avyaktadini, adini meaning in the beginning, it is avyakta, it is unmanifest. Then bhutani, all these beings, vyakta madhyani bharata. Then it becomes manifest in the middle, madhyani, bharata, avyakta nidhananyeva. So in the end, when everything is vanquished, again it becomes unmanifest. Tatra ka paridevana. Why do you lament for this? So the cycle of our body, it will come, it will go. And then the cycle of unmanifest, manifest, unmanifest again. So this is going to continue. So 28, that was. Then anatma part is concluded. Now 29, he is talking about the Atma Jnana Mahima. आश्चर्यवत् पश्यति कश्चिदेनम् आश्चर्यवद् वदति तथैव चान्यः आश्चर्यवच्चैनमन्यः शृणोति श्रुत्वाप्येनं वेद न चैव कश्चित्. So what does he say here? The general interpretation is, some people sees pashyati. Ashcharya. Ashcharya is this wonder. Some people see what? This Atma as wonderful. Acharyavat vadhati tataiva chanya. So some people vadati, they talk about it as wonderful. Ashtarya vachayana manyashranoti. So some people, they will hear about it as amazing. Then last category is what? Majority of people. Shrutva apyenam vedana chaiva kaschit. So some people are hearing about it, but they cannot understand anything about it. So Krishna says the majority of people are like that. And there was another interpretation we saw. This Ascharya was defined as wonder and rare. How these lines were explained was that this Atma Jnanam is a wonder, this Atma Jnani is rare. Teaching is a wonder, the teacher is rare. Third line we said listening is a wonder, the listener is rare. And the rest of the people, other than the rare, all the unrare people can't understand about this Atma at all. So this is the Mahima. That is what he wants to say is very few people will go in this path. And in that few people also only very few people will understand, then very few in that will realize. Then shloka number 30, he is closing it. He's just, it is just a saram of everything. He has said, Dehi nityam avadhyoyam Dehe sarvasya bharata Tasmat sarvani bhutani Natvam shochitum arhasi. So again, Natvam shochitum arhasi. You do not deserve to lament. Dehi nityam avadhyoyam. Avadyam. Avadyam means it cannot be killed. And it is nityam. It is eternal. What is eternal? He is now again talking about the Atma. Embodied. Dehi. He is talking about the Atma inside this body. That is nityam and avadyoyam. It cannot be killed. Dehe sarvasya bharata. Dehe is this body in all the sarvasya, in all the beings. Bharata. He is referring to Arjuna. Tasmat sarvani bhutani. Therefore, all these beings, in all these beings, bhutani is referring to sarvasya bhutani from the first line. Natvam shochitu marhasi. Therefore, you do not deserve to lament. Deha is perishable and it will be killed. But this inside, what is there, this Atma is not going to be killed. It is eternal. That's how he closes this 30. Then 31, we are going to the topic of Dharma. Okay, if Arjuna says, okay, now in terms of Atma and Anatma, now I am clear. Okay, Atma will not be destroyed, so I am not crying for it. Anatma is anyway going to be destroyed, so I am not crying for it. But what about my own self? I stop worrying about Drona and Bhishma. But what am I doing? Am I going to get Papa for killing all these people? This is my worry. If he says like that, then Krishna is giving the answers to those questions. So what is the main broad outline in those 31 to 37 shlokas? It talks about the dharma is that Krishna wants to say that there are two types of dharmas, Samanya dharma and Vishesha dharma. Samanya dharma is, okay, always you should speak the truth. These are Samanya dharmas. Vishesha dharmas are duties for people, like for their profession kind of. So this Vishesha Dharma will override, like suppose somebody is an army, then his Vishesha Dharma overrides the Samanya Dharma. He has to go and to the war front and he has to kill the people. But that is not like bad. It is what his duty asks him to do. So because of this Vishesha Dharma, you have to go and fight Arjuna. That's what he wants to say. And if you do not do that, you will incur sin and infamy. So we will see shloka by shloka. So, the 31, shloka number 31 about dharma topic. Swadharmamapi chavekshya navikampitum arhasi dharmyadhiyuddhat shreyonyat kshatriyasya na vidyate swadharmamapi chavekshya. Cha avekshya. Avekshya means considering. Considering your swadharma or your own duty, navikampitum arhasi. Arhasi is deserve. Vikampitum is hesitate. So you do not deserve to hesitate. Dharmyadi yuddha shreyonyat. Greater than this dharma of fighting, yuddha, that is this yuddha, shreya anyat. There is nothing greater than this fighting for a kshatriyasya na vidyate. There it will never exist for a kshatriya. This fight only is the greatest thing that a kshatriya can do. That's what he wants to say here. So here he is stressing on the Vishesha Dharma part. There is no better engagement as a Kshatriya than to fight and to do your own duty, which is fighting. That is 31. 32. So what will that lead to? What will doing your Vishesha Dharma, what will it lead to? Yadrichaya chopapannam swargadvaramapavritam sukhinah kshatriyah partha labhante yuddhamidrisham. So yadrichaya, by its own accord, cha upapannam. Upapannam has arrived. Swarga dwaram apavritam. Apavritam is it's open. Swarga dwaram, the door of heaven is open now. Sukhinaha kshatriya partha. Sukhinaha, happy will be those kshatriyas. Partha, Arjuna, labhante yuddha midrisham. Idrisham is to get a chance to fight like this. So by its own accord, this door of heaven is open to you, and you should be happy you got this opportunity. So don't hesitate to fight. So doing this Vishesha Dharma, Krishna says you will go to heaven. That is the shloka here. 33, again Dharma topic. So he says, Atha chet tvamimam dharmyam sangramam na karishyasi tatasvadharmam kirtim cha hitva papam avapsyasi. If you do not do this, you will incur sin. That's what he wants to say. Atachet, if you imam dharmyam, this dharma if you don't do, the which dharma? Sangramam, which is the fight, na karishyasi. If you will not do that, this dharma which is the fighting, tataha swadharmam kirtim cha. Then your swadharma and kirti, which is the same, cha hitva, you will lose it. Hitva is to lose, and not only that, you will get papam. Papam avapsyasi. Avapsyasi you will get. So papam avapsyasi, you will get papa, and you will get akirti. That is, you will lose your fame and you will lose your swadharma. So these three things are going to happen. 34 again, same topic. Akirtim chapi bhutani khatayishyanti te vyayam sambhavitasya cha kirti maranadatirichyate. Okay, so he says akirtim chapi bhutani. Bhutani is all the people, cha api, akirti. They will tell all these infamous words about you. Khatayishyanti, they will make stories. Te avyayam, forever. Forever they will keep talking about stories about your infamy. Sambhavitasya cha kirti. Sambhavitaha means a person who is respectable. Cha akirti, this akirti infamy. Maranat datirichyate. Maranat atirichyate. Atirichyate is more than. So what can be more painful than marana or death? For a respectable man, if you lose your honor, you feel like dying, right? So more than that, what can be worse for you, Arjuna? That's what he wants to say. He wants to say in the shloka, you will get infamy if you do not do, and this is so worse for a kshatriya, because kshatriyas are people who like to keep their honor. 35, same topic. Bhaya dranadu paratam mamsyante tvam maharathaha yesham chatvam bahumatah bhutva yasyasi laghavam. So here he says, Bhaya dranadu paratam. Uparatam means to cease. So you ran away because of bhaya. They will say that. Mamsyante, they will consider tvam maharataha. All these people will say, you ran away because of fear. You ran away from this battlefield because of fear. Yesham chatvam bahumataha. They had you in great esteem. Bahumataha is they had you in great esteem before. Bhutva yasyasi. So bhutva, you are in great esteem. Yasyasi laghavam. Now you will go. Yasyasi laghavam means decreased value. So once you were very much esteemed, now you will be very, very much deflated in your value. So here he says you will lose your reputation and also you will be decreased in value by your peers. And 36, same topic. Avacyavadamscha bahun vadishyanti tavahitaah nindantastava samarthyam tato dukkataram nukim. So avacyavadamscha bahun. So avachya means unkind words will be told. Vadam also bahun. Many words will be told like this. Vadishyanti tavahitaha. Tavahitaha means enemies. So all these enemies will tell lot of unkind fabricated words about you. Nindantas samartyam. Nindanta. He says you are nindana. They will do vilify you. Tava samartyam. Your ability. Samartyam ability. Tato dukkha taram nukim. What can be painful than that? What can, it will be so sorrowful that they will vilify you like this. So that was 36. Then 37, important shloka in this topic. Hato va prapsyasi swargam jitva va bhokshase mahim tasmaduttishta kaunteya yuddhaya krita nischayah. So here he says, Hato va prapsyasi swargam. Hato means being killed. You will get prapsyasi swargam. You will get the heaven. Jitva va bhokshase mahim. If you win, what is going to happen is that you will get this mahim, this world. You will enjoy this world. Tasmat uttishta kaunteya. Tasmat, therefore, uttishta, get up, kaunteya Arjuna, yuddhaya krita nischayah. This is very important. For this war, krita nischayah, decisively get up and fight. Be very decisive. Don't hesitate. So this finishes Dharma part. Now he is going to go to the Karma Yoga part. So 38 about Karma Yoga. He is going to tell Arjuna that I talked to you about the Jnana Yoga path. Now I am going to tell you about the Karma Yoga. So 38, he says, Sukha dukkhe same kritva labha labhau jaya jayo tato yuddhaya yujyasva naivam papam avapsyasi. So he says, Sukha dukkhe same kritva. So Sukha dukkhe same kritva. In equanimity, be equanimous to both the Sukha dukkha, labha labha, the gain and the loss, tato yuddhaya yujyasva. So engaged in this fight, naivam papam avapsyasi, you will not incur any sin. So the interpretation is, have no attachment to what. Usually what do we happen? What happens? Happiness, gain, victory. To all these things we are attached. We want happiness, we want to win, and we want gains. So this raga, they are basically not talking about happiness, gain, and victory. They are talking about this duality of the raga and dvesha. So the raga for happiness, gain, and victory, please remove. And the dvesha or the aversion for distress, loss, and winning, you please don't have it. That's what Krishna wants to say. So the samatvam is not having raga and dvesha, that I don't prefer one over the other. I will just do my duty, and whatever the result comes, whether it is heaven or it is even the enjoyment on this earth, or if it is even bad results on this earth, it doesn't matter. So that is what is meant by samatva. So this is the saram of Karma Yoga. This 38 is the saram of Karma Yoga. And it talks about the raga and dvesha thing to be avoided. Yesha te bhita sankhye buddhir yoge tvimam shrunu buddhya yukto yaya partha karma bandham prahasyasi. So this is actually Karma Yoga Palan. This 39 is talking about the Karma Yoga Palan. Te yesha te abhihita sankhye. Abhihita means he described. He says, I described to you sankhye. I told you about this analytical study about the Atma. Analytical study meaning about who you are. Buddhi yoge tvi imam shrunu. Tu imam shrunu. Buddhi yoga. He refers to this as Buddhi yoga, the Karma yoga. Tu imam shrunu. You listen to this. Buddhya yukto yaya partha. Buddhya yukto. If you are engaged, yuktaha, engaged in this type of yoga, partha, karma bandham prahasyasi. So you will be released from the bondage of karma bandha. That is the karma's bondage. Prahasyasi is to be released from. So you will be released from this, and this is the karma yoga pala. So if I engage without this raga and dvesha in samatvam, then the palan of it is that I am going to be released from the bondage of karma. So we saw that it is a step-by-step process. So what people are saying, okay, Krishna talked about the Atma first. Say, I cannot understand this, what they are talking. Or you say, okay, I understand what they are talking about, but I am not able to follow it. I cannot live in this world thinking I'm this Atma. I get pulled into this world. When I am in Gita class, I realize I'm this Atma. But when I'm going outside, I'm not able to follow it. So it is a step-by-step process. That is why he says this tasya prajna pratishtita, that for some jnani, that jnana is there 24 hours for him. For us, it's there 5 minutes, maybe sometimes even less than that. So it keeps changing. Why? Because first of all, the mind is not pure. So that is why he wants to attack on the mind and get the purity of the mind. Then when this teaching is coming to you, so first you are listening to this Gita, so you will know, okay, oh, now purity of mind is required. Then we go purify our mind and then again listen to it, then more knowledge will come and sit, more we will be able to be in that state more than before. And then finally we can proceed and it will be fully established. So the steps is Karma Yoga, purity of mind, then Jnana Yoga and Moksha. So then next shloka number 40 in the same topic, it talks Karma Yoga versus Karma. Neha bhikramanashosti pratyavayo na vidyate swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. So neha abhikramanashosti. Abhikrama means to end, the one who is endeavoring, nashaha, loss. So there is no loss. If you do your karma in the karma yoga way, there is going to be no loss. No loss meaning not physical loss. You will lose things, you will lose ones you really like, all that will happen physically, but mentally you will not be disturbed. That is what is meaning no loss. You say, oh, I did in the karma yoga way, but still I lost all this, I lost my business, I lost my money. That is not what he's talking about. Even if that loss comes to you, your mind will be peaceful. Like they say, Rama, when he was told, okay, tomorrow you have to go to the forest, you are not going to be the king. It seems he went and slept very peacefully. So if we have that peace of mind when we lose things, next day he was going to be crowned prince. Then one day, then suddenly he has to go to the forest. So like that, if we are able to be in reality, then we can say, oh, there is no loss. I have not lost anything. Then that is karma yoga. So that is the first point they want to say, karma versus karma yoga. Karma, there will always be loss. You will see that you are losing things. You will be upset about it because you are seeing physicality different from your mental state. So neha bhikramana shosti pratyavayo na vidyate. Pratyavayo means the reverse effect does not happen when you do in karma yoga. You do not give the reverse or the bad effects when you do things in the karma yoga way. Swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. Swalpamapyasya dharmasya. Even a little if you do in this way, it will save you from what? Trayate mahato bhayat. From this great danger of this samsara, from this great fear of the samsara. The fear is arising from this samsara that oh, I will lose this, I will not get this. So all that is coming from the samsara. Little bit even karma yoga, if I'm equanimous to what is coming in my life, I will be saved from this big danger. So the 3 points, karma versus karma yoga, what he wants to say is, if you do things in the karma yoga way, there is no danger of failure. There is no reverse effect. And even a little practice will help you and save you from this great danger of samsara. Then 41, same topic. व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धिः एकेह कुरु नन्दन बहुशाखा ह्यनन्ताश्च बुद्धयो व्यवसायिनाम्. So again he is coming to the topic of the mind. He is talking about the person who is doing karma yoga. How will he be? How will his mind be? You have to compare everything in terms of mind only at this level. How will that karma yogi's mind be? Vyavasayatmika. That means it is very resolute. Buddhihi yekeha kurunandana. It is only in one direction. What is that direction? Moksha. He wants to get moksha. Before that, he has to get jnana and he is practicing karma yoga. So he is just having one goal in his life. So his mind is not going here and there. But what happens in the other people who are not in karma yoga? Bahushaka. They have many branches because they have many goals. They have many desires. He anantascha and anantaha. That means it is unlimited. The goals are unlimited. You have like you have like vision board and everything. There are so many things in it. What I should do, you yourself don't know. But there are so many goals, so many paths. Bahushaka hi anantascha buddhayo vyavasayinam. So buddhi, that buddhi for that person, not only the mind, the buddhi, what happens is it is irresolute. It is not in one direction. So it is many branched. So one who follows karma yoga, his mind is resolute, and the one who does not follow the karma yoga, his mind is many branched. Then he goes on to talk about karma kanda part versus jnana kanda part. So we discussed about it that the Vedas has got two parts. The karma kanda, where it is prescribed, it is lawful to get all those things, this bhoga and aishwarya. In lawful means it is given in the karma kanda part. It is not wrong, but that means you are not in the path of moksha. What is the difference between karma kanda, getting these things, and not getting these things and going in the moksha path? यामिमां पुष्पितां वाचं प्रवदन्त्यविपश्चितः वेदवादरताः पार्थ नान्यदस्तीति वादिनः कामात्मानः स्वर्गपराः जन्मकर्मफलप्रदां क्रियाविशेषबहुलां भोगैश्वर्यगतिं प्रति. So 42-43 we read together. So he talked about the 5 qualities of foolish people. The foolish people, he says, he is referring to the people who are following the karma kanda path. Avipaschitaha, that is men of poor knowledge. We will just go through these qualities and then go through the shloka. Avipaschitaha, Vedavadarataha, the one who follows the karma kanda portion of the Vedas. Na anyat asti iti vadinaha. They say that nothing else is there other than this, getting to the heaven, getting this bhoga and aishwarya. That is what they say. Kamatmanaha, they are desirous of sense gratification, and swargaparaha, they are have the goal of this heaven. The main goal is heaven, and all towards what? Bhogaishwarya gatim prati. They will want the bhoga, the enjoyment, and the aishwarya. That is why they will do all these things. And he says how they will talk, how will they say it? Yamimam pushpitam vacha. They will speak flowery words. Janma kalma palapradam. They will always talk about this results of this doing these things and this birth and results of that. Kriya vishesha bahulam. They will say you must do pompous ceremonies and all towards just this bhoga and aishwarya. Krishna is basically shunning this, saying you must go in this jnana path and not be influenced by these kind of words. So yamima pushpitam vacham, all these flowery words, pravadanti avipaschitaha, are spoken by these fools. Vedavada rataha partha. Vedavada rataha. These are the followers of the Vedas, O Partha. Nanyadastiti vadinaha. They say that nothing else exists. Kamatmana swargaparaha. They are desirous of this sense gratification. Swargaparaha, for heaven. Janma karma phalapradam, the results of the deeds and the janma, they are worried about that. Kriya Vishesha Bahulam. They do pompous ceremonies, Bhogeshwarya Gatim Prati, all towards the opulence and the enjoyment. So this is the comparison of the Karma Kanda and the Jnana Kanda part. Then 44. Bhogaishwarya prasaktanam tayapahruta chetasam vyavasayatmika buddhihi samadhauna vidhiyate. So here he gives a consequence. If you are attached to this material world, what happens? Bhogeshwarya prasaktana. Prasaktana means to being attached. So you are attached to this bhoga and aishwarya. Taya apahrita chetasam. By such things, you are confused. Apahrita chetasam. Your heart is confused. Vyavasayatmika buddhihi. The resolute mind that he talked about, that is not there. Vyavasayatmika buddhihi. Samadhu means the controlled mind. That is also not there. Na vidhiyate. That does not take place. Controlled mind and the resolute intelligence does not take place. Why do we need that? These two are important for us to go in this jnana path. So when we are going towards Bhoga and Aishwarya, we do not have this mind and this intelligence, it works against us. So because mind and intelligence are working against us, we are not able to go in this jnana path. So this moksha becomes difficult for us. That is why we find it very difficult. So first is to cut back from this Bhoga and Aishwarya. Then 45. Traigunya Vishaya Vedaha Nistraigunyo Bhavarjuna Nirdvando Nitya Satvasthaha Niryogakshema Atmavan. So here he says Traigunya Vishaya Vedaha. So the Vedas are talking about the three gunas. The three gunas actually are the cause of this Prakriti or this world. The Sattva, Rajas and the Tamas. Sattva, we saw that it is knowledge and peace, the guna of knowledge and peace. Rajas is desire and action. Tamas is inaction and delusion. So these gunas, they act in different proportions. Everybody has different proportions of this. And because of this, we are still in the samsara. And the karma kanda part is dealing with this, the gunas, the prakriti, which is caused by these gunas. So therefore, Arjuna, Nistre Gunyo Bhavarjuna. So be without the gunas. So at this stage, how it is interpreted? Gunatita, that means to transcend the gunas. Now it is not possible in Karma Yoga stage. So now be Nishkamo Bhava, be without desire. So this is interpreted as Nistre Gunyo Bhavarjuna is interpreted as Nishkamo Bhava, be without desire. Then he says, Nirdvando Nitya Sattvastaha. Nirdvando. That means be free from duality. The duality, what did we say? Sukha dukkhe, labha labho, jaya ajayo. So all those dualities, be free from it. Nitya sattvastaha. Try to be in the sattva guna. See, first will be tamas. We can't go directly to sattva. If you are predominantly in tamas, you have to try to go to rajas. Then from rajas to sattva. So try to be in the sattva guna, because sattva guna will be conducive to liberation. So be in sattva guna. Niryoga kshema atmava. Niryoga. Yoga means gain and kshema is preservation. So you don't be constantly engaged in this gain and preservation, because what is that guna? Rajas. So that means if you are constantly wanting to buy and preserve things, that means you are in rajas. So try to get away from this. Atmavan. Atmavan bhava. That means Atmavan means in this context referring to the tamas. Be very careful. Guard yourself. Don't go into any delusion. That is what he wants to say. So try to be in sattva and avoid the rajas and the tamas. 46. Then he is giving a simile. He is saying, Yavanartha udapane sarvatas samplutodake Tavan sarveshu vedeshu brahmanasya vijanataha. So here he says that Yavanartha udapane. Udapane is this well. Yavanartha means all that in meaning, sarvataha in all respects, samplutodake. Samplutodake is this reservoir. So what the well can give you, the reservoir can definitely give you. It is much bigger. Similarly, Tavan Sarveshu Vedeshu. So, whatever the Vedas are promising, Brahmanasya Vijanatah, the Brahmana or the one who know in knowledge, he knows that everything is going to be served by this Brahma Sukham or this Moksha Sukham. So, what they want to say is all purposes served by a small well can be served by a reservoir. Similarly, all purposes of Karma Kanda can be served by Jnana Kanda. In essence, all sensual pleasures can be served by this Moksha Sukha. If you know that this is the biggest, the person who has attained the Moksha Sukha, he will never desire anything. That is why they say that this Moksha Sukha, if you have it, you will not go after this Alpa Sukha. Then 47, Karma Yoga Lakshana, very important shloka. कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन मा कर्मफलहेतुर्भूः मा ते सङ्गोऽस्त्वकर्मणि कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते. You have the right or the choice to work only. And how you can do it? You can do the work, you need not do the work, you can choose to do the work in another way, you can choose the attitude in which you can work. So these are all the, what are the things you can do is only you have control over these things. Ma phaleshu kadachana. So for ma, never. For the phala, for the result, kadachana. You will not at any time have the right or the choice for the result. Why? Because it is a constituent of so many factors. Your prarabdha, that other person's prarabdha, the place, the time, so many things will be acting to deliver the result. So we cannot predict what it will be. There is no calculation for how the result will be. So please don't go after the result. That's what he wants to say. Ma karma palaheturbuhu. There are two ways to interpret, changing the words a little bit. One is, let not the fruits of the results motivate you, or do not consider yourself as the cause of these results. So either way, it will result in bondage. So do not do that. And last point, very important. If you say, okay, only if I do karma, I will get the results, right? I will not do any karma. He says, no, that is not possible. Mate sangostva karmani. Don't be attached to not doing your duty. So this is important shloka. And then 48 also is Karma Yoga Lakshanam. Yogastha kuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya siddhya siddhyo samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. So this is also very important, where we talked about there are two types. One is the kartavyam or the duties that you have to do, and one is the kamya karma, which are basically the things you desire to do. So, but within the law, it is allowed, but there are some things you would like to do, right? So how do we tackle this? So first is, when it comes to your duties, first point is, don't have like or dislike to one type of duty versus the other type of duty. Remove your likes and dislikes. So whatever comes that day, we talked about the prasada buddhi and the arpana buddhi. So you can take it like, okay, today this job has these are the list of jobs that has come to me. I will do it because this is the prasadam of Ishvara. Like that you can take, and then you will get to equanimity. And the results that you get out of these duties, you can say arpana to Ishvara, that you will relinquish the results that come from this karma. One more thing that comes along with this karma is the right itself, like the parent child. If you are a parent, if you have done your duty, you have certain rights. But don't have that, relinquish those rights, because it will only lead to expectations. So relinquish the rights that comes along with the karma. That was the third point. Fourth point, pertaining to kamya karma. Kamya karma are things that maybe you like to eat sweets, or you like to do certain things. What they say is, you have to do it, you can do it, but in relationship to God. That is why we have all these festivals. And then we do arpana to Ishvara, and we take that as a prasada. So then it is allowed and it is Okay. So that is how we should not do it for our own enjoyment. So these are the 4 points in that shloka. Then 49. So 49 he wants to talk about the pitfalls of karma. दूरेण ह्यवरं कर्म बुद्धियोगात् धनञ्जय बुद्ध्यौ शरणमन्विच्छ कृपणाः फलहेतवः. दूरेण हि avaram karma. Avaram, he says that this karma is disgusting, causing bondage, and it is very far from buddhi yoga, which is the karma yoga. Dhananjaya, buddhau sharanam anviccha. So surrender to this type of intelligence. Kripanaha phalahetavaha. Kripanaha, the needy people, are the ones who want the results of the fruits. So don't go in that path. Go in the path of karma yoga, because the karma and the karma yoga are very far away. That's what Krishna wants to say here. Then 50. Buddhi yukto jahatiha ubhe sukrita dushkrute tasmat yogaya yujyasva yoga karma sukaushalam. So he says buddhi yukto jahatiha. Jahati means he gets rid of the one who is engaged in karma yoga. Buddhi yuktaha jahatiha ubhe sukrita dushkrute. He gets rid of both the good and the bad results. Tasmad yogaya yujyasva. Therefore, be engaged in this fight, practicing karma yoga. Yoga karmasu kaushalam. This is the art in all karma. The way in which you do the karma through karma yoga is the art. It is not efficiency. It is how you have what attitude you have to every work. That is the art in work. It is not how many things you can do or what position you are holding or even what job you are doing. What is the attitude with which you are working? And that is what is most important. Then 51. 51 is the Vedanta Sara, the stages of progression. So here he says, Karmajam buddhi yuktahi phalam tyaktva manishinaha janma bandha vinirmuktaha padam gacchantya. So he says, Karmajam born from karma. Then we have to take the other word, phalam. The results are born from the karma, phalam. Buddhi yuktaha, the one who is engaged in karma yoga, tyaktva manishinaha. He has what? Karmajam phalam tyaktva. He has given up all the results. Manishinaha, he is a stage. Manishinaha, this is a person who is going to pursue jnana yoga. But what he has done is he has given up all the results. Therefore, he has fully practiced the karma yoga. Janma bandha vinirmuktaha. So what happens to him? Janma bandha. So the bondage of this janma, vinirmuktaha. He is liberated. Padam gacchantya namayam. Anayamayam means he goes to a place without miseries. Padam means a position. So what happens here? He goes to moksha. So the first line is talking about karma yoga. That is when you give the results, you are practicing karma yoga. After that, what has happened? You get away from this bondage of this cycle of birth and death. Then you go to a position which is beyond miseries. So you have gotten moksha. So these are the 2 stages: karma yoga, jnana yoga, moksha. And 52. 52, he wants to give. So people have the doubt. Okay, I'm practicing karma yoga. When do I know I have crossed karma yoga? So this is the lingam or the identification sloka. That this is when you will know for yourself that you have crossed karma yoga stage. Yada te moha kalilam buddhir vyatitarishyati tada gantasi nirvedam shrotavyasya shrutasya cha. Yadate, when your moha kalilam, forest, and moham, delusion, when you have buddhi vyatitarishyati, when your buddhi vyatitarishyasi, very important word, has crossed. When you have crossed this forest of delusion, tada, then gantasi, you will go to what? Nirvedam, very important word, again, indifference. Shrotavyasya shrutasya cha. So whatever was heard before, whatever will be heard, and whatever was heard, or to say that for the past and the future you will become indifferent. Whatever came in my past, it's okay. Whatever will come in my future is okay. When you become indifferent and you pass this delusion that this past and the future are the most important things, then you have crossed the Karma Yoga stage. Then next one is he is talking about the lingam when you pass the Jnana Yoga stage and you have gone to moksha. So this is the identification that you have crossed the Jnana Yoga stage. Shruti vipratipanna te yada sthasyasi nischala samadhavachala buddhihi tada yogam avapsyasi. So Shruti Vipratipannate. Vipratipanna means you are not being influenced by the Shrutis or the Vedas or this samsara. Te, you are Yada Stasyasi Nischala. When your mind is Nischala, unmoved, mind becomes unmoved. Samadha Vachala Buddhi. Samadha, in this controlled mind, when you have Achala Buddhi, the Buddhi which is like a mountain, it cannot be moved. Tada, at that time, yogam avapsyasi. That means you have got self-realization. So you should have the nishtala manas and the achala buddhi. Then that time you will know that, and when you are not influenced by this world, that time you have got this jnana. So shloka number 54. Now after he talked about the lingam for this karma yoga and the jnana yoga, now Arjuna wants to know, really is there any person like that? And he has coined the term as Sthita Prajna. And he asks Krishna, is there some person like that? What are his characteristics? I want to know because I want to become one like that. So Sthita Prajna itself, we said it is broken into three parts. Jna, to know. Prajna is to know without doubt. And Sthita is one who is steady and he knows without doubt. And also we interpret it as Jna is Shravanam, listening. Prajna is Mananam, removing the doubts. And Sthita Prajna was Nididhyasam, which was internalizing it or living it. So Shloka is Arjuna Vacha Sthita Prajnasya ka bhasha Samadhistasya Keshava Sthitadhi kim prabhasheta Kimasita vrajeta kim. So here he says what is the general meaning is that Sthita Prajnasya ka bhasha. So for this person, what is his language? Samadhistasya Keshava. This person who is situated in this trance. And Sthitadihi kim prabhasheta. This Sthitadihi, that is the one with this intellect or this knowledge, how does he talk? Prabhasheta kimasita vrajeta kim. How does he sit and how does he walk? This is Arjuna's questions. Basically, he wants to know how does he face the prarabdha, how does he conduct himself in mano, vak and kaya, which is in his mind, mano, vak in his interaction with people and kaya in his actions. So that is Arjuna's question. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Prajahati Yada Kaman Sarvan Partha Manogatan Atmanyevatmana Tushtaha Sthita Prajnastadochyate. So he says here, how it is categorized, 55 to 57 will be Sthita Prajna Lakshanam. 55 to 57. So this is Sthita Prajna Lakshanam. So Krishna says, Prajahati. Prajahati. He is totally given up. Yada Kaman. All the desires. Sarvan. All the desires. Manogatan. Manogatan is what has entered the mind. All these desires that has entered the mind. Atmanyevatmana tushtaha. So this person, Atmani, he is in his self by his own self. He doesn't need any other thing other than his own self. Tushtaha, he is very content. Sthita prajnaha uchyate. Tada uchyate. So that time he is called the Sthita Prajna. So when he has given up totally all the desires that are coming in his mind and is content in himself by himself, then he is called the Sthita Prajna. Then 56 is also the Sthita Prajna Lakshanam. Dukkheshvanudvignamanaha Sukheshu vigataspruhaha Vitaragabhayakrodhaha Sthitadhir muniruchyate. Dukkheshvanudvignamanaha. Anudvignamanaha means agitated. In dukkha, he is not agitated. In sadness, he is not agitated. Sukheshu vigataspruhaha. He is not overjoyed. Vigataspruha, he is without any attachment for this. He is not desirous of this sukha. Sukheshu vigataspruhaha. Vita raga bhaya krodhaha. Vita is without, raga is attachment, bhaya is fear, and krodhaha is anger. So he is without these three things. Sthitadhir muni ruchyate. Uchyate is talked of as sthitadhihi. So he has this steady intellect or the steady knowledge. So he is not overly sad or he is not overly happy. He is stable in both situations. And he is without attachment, fear and anger. So shloka number 57, again Sthita Prajna Lakshanam. Yasarvatranabhisnehaha tat prapya shubha shubham nabhinandati nadveshti Asya prajna pratishtita. Yes, sarvatrana anabhisneha. Anabhisneha means he is without attachment to all these things. Tat prapya shubha shubham. Prapya is achieving. On achieving shubha and ashubha, on good and bad, on achieving that, he is without attachment. Na abhinandati. So how does he act? Na abhinandati. Abhinandati means praise. If somebody is saying oh, he does good things to you, he doesn't overly praise him. Na dveshti. He doesn't hurt the person. He doesn't hate the person who does not behave well with him. Or it is also interpreted as he doesn't praise the situations that bring him good and he doesn't hate the situations that do not bring him good. Tasya prajna pratishtita. So this person, his mind is fixed. Shloka number 58. 58 to 61, we are talking about damaha, which is the control of the senses. So what did we see here so far? They said that you must do shravana, that is you read the Bhagavad Gita, you read all the scriptures, and then mananam, you contemplate, you clear the doubts, and then the final stage is nididhyasana. Like when you have diabetes, you go to the doctor, he will give you the medicine for it. So nididhyasanam is the medicine for the samsara. So you have to keep doing this contemplative meditation and you have to keep internalizing what has been told in the scriptures. So that is the medicine, but along with it, the diet, like they will tell the diet for diabetes, has been prescribed as damaha and shamaha. So in Karma Yoga stage, what did we follow? Samatvam, and then we also followed this Vivekam, Vairagyam and Mumukshutvam. That was a part of the package in Karma Yoga because we have to have the Vivekam between the Nitya Vastu and the Anitya Vastu, and then the Vairagyam, which is the sense control. And then we had this Mumukshutva. Vivekam was for the intellect, which cured the moham or this delusion. And this Vairagyam cured the disease of the mind or the attachment. So these two are the things, and you go towards the eternal, which is Mumukshutva. Here what has been told, Damaha, Shamaha, and then Nididhyasa in Jnana Yoga stage. So 58 is the control of the senses or the Damaha. Yada samharate chayam kurmongani vasarvashah indriyani indriyartebhyah tasya prajna pratishtita. So here he says, Yada samharate chayam cha ayam. So one who samharate is to withdraw. The person who withdraws, like what? Kurmonganiva. Kurmaha anganiva. Angani is the limbs or the parts. Just like the tortoise, when it sees danger, will withdraw all its limbs, all its legs. Like that, sarvashaha, all his legs. Indriyani indriyartebhyaha. So you must also withdraw your senses from the sense objects. Then that person who is withdrawn, that person's intelligence, tasya prajna pratishtita. His intelligence is fixed. Then 59, again about damaha. Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehinah rasavarjam rasopyasya parandrishtva nivartate. So Vishaya means the objects of sense enjoyment. Vinivartante, when you are refrained from them. Niraharasya, like basically you are starved from them. You are trying to control it. Dehinah, all these embodied people. Rasavarjam rasopyasya. The taste actually will continue. Rasavarjam means giving up the taste. Rasopyasya, for this enjoyment, only happens actually when param drishtva nivartate. When it only ceases, nivartate ceases, param drishtva, only when you see the superior goal, param, which is superior, drishtva, seeing that, only then this taste will go. This taste will not go until you see this big picture of moksha. So 60, yatato hyapi kaunteya purushasya vipaschitaha indriyani pramathini haranti prasabham manah. So he says, yatato hi api, while endeavoring also, Kaunteya, Arjuna, Purushasya, of a man, Vipaschitaha. So this man is full of knowledge. This man is also trying, he is trying, and also he is full of knowledge. But still, what happens to him? Indriyani pramatini, Indriyas, the senses are pramatini, very forceful, and haranti, they carried away, prasabam, by force, manaha. This mind is being carried away. So what is the root? Sense objects, then senses act on the sense objects, and then the mind acts on the senses, intelligence on the mind. So that is the root. One thing is gone, your senses are gone, then the full link is gone. Till your intelligence it will affect. So we have to be very careful with the sense objects. 61 again is tamaha. Tani sarvani samyamya yukta asita matparaha vashe hi yasyendriyani tasya prajna pratisthita. So here he says tani sarvani, all of them, samyamya, under control, yukta asita matparaha, the one who is engaged and situated in matparaha, knowing that there is nothing greater than me, in a relationship with me, matparaha, vashehi yasya indrani. So he is keeping everything in subjugation. Vashehi yasya indriyani. He is keeping his senses in subjugation. Tasya prajna pratishtita. So that person, his intelligence is fixed. So with this, he is closing the damaha topic, which is the control of the senses. 62 to 66, he is going to go to the shamaha topic, which is the control of the mind. So this is important shloka 62 and 63. We will read it together. Dhyayato vishayan pumsah sangasteshu pajayate sangat sanjayate kamah kamat krodho bhijayate krodhat bhavati sammohah sammohat smriti vibhramah smriti bhramshat buddhinashah buddhinashat pranashyati. So what did we say here? Dhyayato vishayan pumsaha. When you are contemplating on the vishaya, which is the sense objects, pumsaha, that person, sangasteshu upajayate. Sangaha, he develops the attachment. Upajayate means it develops or it arises. Sangat sanjayate kamaha. So from that sanga, what do you get? Sanjayate. Again it arises kamaha, the desire. Then what happens after that? Kama krodho abhijayate. From the kama, from the desire, the anger arises. Abhijayate. Krodhat bhavati sammohaha. From the anger comes sammohaha, which is the delusion. And sammohat smriti vibhramaha. From the sammoha, which is the delusion, happens this loss of memory or understanding or the learning. Then smriti bhramshat buddhinashaha. From this loss of this memory and this learning, buddhinashaha happens. The intelligence itself is lost. And after the buddhinashat pranashyati, when the buddhinasha happens, when there is a loss of intelligence, one falls down from his goal. So the words they will use are upajayate, samjayate, abhijayate, all meaning arise or develop, but in various degrees. When they say abhijayate, kamat krodho bhijayate, when they say that abhijayate, it has fully developed. That anger has fully developed. 64, again talking about shamaha. रागद्वेषवियुक्तैस्तु विषयानिन्द्रियैश्चरन् आत्मवश्यैर्विधेयात्मा प्रसादमधिगच्छति. So what is he saying? Ragadvesha viyuktaistu. Viyuktaha means free from. Free from raga and dvesha. Vishayan indriyaicharan. Vishayan is these sense objects. Indriyaicharan. Charan is it is moving. Atmavashyer vidheyatma. So he, the one who has controlled his mind and he subjugated his senses, prasadam adhigacchati. So prasadam he is talking about is this peace of mind. Adhigacchati meaning he attains this peacefulness of mind. That will be the result of you practicing this freedom from this raga and dvesha. So you will get peace of mind. And peace of mind is very important for meditation. Without the peace of mind, he is going to say in the next shlokas that you cannot do anything if you don't have peace of mind. So he says here 65, prasade sarva dukkhanam hanirasyopajayate prasanna chetaso hyashu buddhif paryavatishthate. Prasade, this peaceful mind, sarva dukkhanam, all the dukkha or all the sadness, hanihi, it gets destroyed. Upajayate, that the destroyal of that dukkha happens. Prasanna chetaso hyashu. Prasanna chetasaha, he is happy minded. He ashu, that very soon, then what happens? Buddhihi paryavatishtate. That means paryavatishtate means sufficiently established. So two things are happening from this peacefulness of mind. So why we are saying that for us the jnana is not going inside, we are not able to follow, because if you didn't have the peace of mind and the tranquility, then it is very difficult to do that kind of meditation. So once you have peace of mind, Krishna says very soon this jnana will come and also it will be fully established. So 66. Nasti buddhirayuktasya na chayuktasya bhavana na cha bhavayata shantihi ashantasya kutas sukham. Nasti buddhirayuktasya. So the person who is not engaged in this na chayuktasya bhavana. So how can he do the nididhyasanam or the contemplation? Nacha bhavayata shantihi. Then he does not get peace of mind. Then ashantasya kutas sukham. Person who is not having any peace of mind, how will he get this? Get the sukham. Sukham here they are referring to as a moksha sukham. That means you will not be fully going to the path of moksha because you are not able to do the nididhyasana. First of all, you didn't have peace of mind. Because of that, you couldn't engage in meditation. Because of that, again, you came back to samsara. Because of that, again, you lost your peace of mind. And then finally, the path of moksha was not there at all for you. Because all these things you didn't engage in. 66, he is closed, basically talking about shamaha. Then 67, he is giving the closing remarks for shamaha. And 68, he will give the closing remarks for damaha. First, he will give the closing remarks for mind control. Then he will give the closing remarks for sense control. So this is shamaha, mind control closing. Indriyanam hi charata yanmanonu vidhiyate tadasya harati prajna vayurnavamivambhasi. So he says Indriyanam hi charatam. Charatam is moving. Yanmano anuvidhiyate. So what is following this indriyas is the mind. Anuvidhiyate is constantly following. Anuvidhiyate. Tadasya harati prajna. So what does it do? This mind following this senses, what is the harm in that? Tadasya harati prajna. It will take away your intelligence. Prajna, like what? Vayur nava ivambhasi. Vayur navam. Vayu, like how the wind will carry away the boat. Navam, ambasi, in the water, how it will carry away, just like that, your intelligence will be carried away by your, first by your senses. Mind got carried away by the senses, and intelligence got destroyed because the mind was carried away. Then 68, closing for damaha or the sense control. Tasmadasya mahabaho nigrihitani sarvashah indriyani indriyartebhyah tasya prajna pratisthita. Tasmat, therefore, another one very strong tasmat here. Tasmat dasya mahabaho, the one with the mighty arms, nigrihitani sarvashah. Nigraham, do the curbing of all these sensory things. Indriyani indriyartebhyah, the senses from the sense objects. Tasya prajna pratisthita. So that person, his intelligence is fixed. So that is what. So we also saw this analogy that the body is this chariot from the Kathopanishad. The intellect is this charioteer. The senses are the horses. The mind are the reins of the horses. And the sense objects is the field. So this intellect must control the horses through the mind. So this is the analogy. Then 69 to 72, he is going to give the Lakshanam again. Sthita Prajna Lakshanam. Yanisha sarva bhutanam tasyam jagarti samyami yasyam jagrati bhutani sanisha pashyato munehe. Yanisha sarva bhutana. So what is night to all beings? Here he is talking about the Brahman. So this Brahman, that Nisha he is talking about, it is night to all beings. Tasyam jagarti samyami. So that time what is happening? Samyami, the one who is controlled, he is awake. So jagarti means is wakeful here. So he is wakeful. Yasyam jagrati bhutani. So here yasyam, in which jagrati bhutani, all the other beings are awake. Jagrati here means are awake. Bhutani sa nisha pashyato munehe. That is night as seen by this sage. So this Brahman they are talking about, this Nisha is this Brahman they are talking about in the first line. The Jnani is awake, but this other people are asleep when you are talking about the Brahman. When you are talking about the world, all the other beings are awake, but this Jnani, he sees it as night. Next sloka, 70. Apuryamanamachala pratishtham samudramapah pravishanti yadvat tadvat kamayam pravishanti sarve sashantimapnoti na kamakami. So he is giving an analogy here of the samudra apaha, the water in the sea. Apuryamanam achala pratishtham. So when apuryamanam, when it is filled from all the sides, achalam, it remains unmoved, it remains undisturbed. Pratishtham, it remains steady also. Samudra apaha, this water in the sea. Pravishanti yadvat. Pravishanti means enter. What is entering? All the rivers are entering. Yadvat, as the rivers are entering, this sea remains undisturbed. Tadvat, so kamayam pravishanti sarve. Pravishanti again enter. Kama, all these desires are entering the mind of the people. Sarve sashantim apnoti na kama kami. So he will attain the shanti or the peace, but the person who will not attain is the kamakami. Who is what? Who has the desire to fulfill all his desires. That is the kamakami. This jnani will remain undisturbed when all these kamas, even if things are being lured in front of his face, he is not going to be disturbed. But this kamakami, who is desire of all these things, his mind and his intellect will keep swaying. So next shloka 71. Vihaya kamanyas sarvan pumamscharati nisprihaha nirmamo nirahankaraha sashantimadhigacchati. So vihaya, he gives up kaman, all the desires, sarvan, all of them. Puman, this person, charati, he lives, nisprihaha, he lives without any desire. Nirmamo nirahankaraha, He lives without any proprietorship. And nirahankaraha, without any ego. Nisprihaha, nirmamaha, nirahankaraha. Sashantim adhigacchati. Adhigacchati, he attains shanti, the peace. Then final shloka, he closes. Yesha brahmi sthiti partha nainam prapya vimuhyate sthitva syamanta kalepi brahma nirvana mrichhati. So, Yesha Brahmi, this spiritual being, Sthitihi Partha, being situated, O Arjuna, na yenam prapya vimuhyati. He is not confused or bewildered. Sthitva syam antakalepi. If he is situated like this at the antakala or the end of his life, Brahma Nirvana Mrichati. Brahma Nirvana, he will get the nirvana or the realization of the Brahman attains. Chati means attains. He gets the realization of the Brahman. Chapter 2 is closed. We will close it with the closing para. Om Tat Saditi Srimad Bhagavad Gita Su Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Sankhya Yogo Nama Dvitiyodhyayah. Om Tat Sat, it is referring to the God. All three Om and Tat and Sat are referring to God. Iti, thus, Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So, this Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads, it is a saram or the essence of the Upanishads. Brahma Vidyayam, it is the study of the Brahman. Yoga Shastre, so it is all the Yoga Shastras are described here. The scripture of the Yogas, Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade. Samvade means the dialogue between the Guru and the Shishya. So it is a dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna, the Guru and the disciple. Sankhya Yogo Nama. So the yoga of discriminatory knowledge about who you are basically, that has been told. Second chapter is coming to a close.